Hello, everyone. Hope everybody's doing well. By now, we've done quite a few things in the course. I especially enjoyed reading your introductions to yourself and can't wait to get to know you a little bit better. This is the part I miss about a seated class. I kind of wish I could sit and talk with you each week, but it's okay. We're going to still learn stuff and we're going to continue plugging right along. I'm coming to you to do this video. This is about your second part to your research or second part to your projects that you have to do. You're doing the timeline part 1 and part 2, and then you're also going to do what is called our narrative review. You're going to take that child development research and the things that we've learned so far, and you're going to apply those. And I've said this before, that if you're connecting to what you're learning, you're going to remember it. And that's what you're going to do as a teacher one day. You're going to make sure you're connecting the things that you're teaching your students to their lives or to experiences that they've had, and they're going to remember, and they're going to be more successful because they're actually retaining things that you've taught them. So that's kind of what the premise is behind this. It's been modified a little bit for this particular online class. If you were in the seated class, you'd be doing this full-blown research paper, which would take quite a while. It would be lengthy. You would share it in front of the classroom. We would have discussions from everybody's reviews, and it would just be a far more involved project. So we've modified this for the online class. What you'll be doing, you're going to choose a topic, and then you're going to research that topic. Got my list of directions here, so if I keep turning and looking, that's why I'm looking that way. In the modules, I've given you a really extensive list of some topics. There's some really good, neat topics there. However, you can do you. If you look on that list and there's nothing that you really think, okay, not really something I want to look at, start looking, find your own topic. I don't mind if you choose your own topic, but just make sure that you're not choosing something that's extremely broad. I did my doctorate a few years ago on autism. That is a huge, broad topic. And if you can imagine, I wrote hundreds of pages for my dissertation. Well, this is a little 2 to 3 page paper, so don't pick a real broad topic. Look at the list. There may be something on there that speaks to you, something that speaks to you personally, something that you've experienced. It can be academic topics, it can be emotional issues, it can be family issues, whatever speaks to you, pick your topic. Also, I said too broad. Also make sure it's not just some little short topic that you can't find a lot of research on. Make sure it's something that you can at least go and research and find something on. Now, with that said, we kind of got a little taste of this when we did the QQC assignment, was to sort of let you see what's out there. I gave you the articles for that, but on this one, you're going to find your own articles. Now, remember, and I think I mentioned this at some point in another video, these have to be peer-reviewed articles. That means that they're real, legit articles written by legit authors. Can't go Google and use Wikipedia or Huffington Post or some of those other places, because all sorts of things are going to pop up when you start Googling. So please make sure that you're following the correct format for finding some of those articles, and make sure they're peer-reviewed articles. Now, with that said, let me give you an idea of that. There are 2 ways to get those peer-reviewed articles. The first way, and you'll see in the module, there's a link for this, the Thrift Library. You don't have to go sit down at the Thrift Library. You can do everything online, which is the best part about all of this. The next thing, let me go back to the Thrift Library again. Oh, there's a fly in here, sorry. The next thing with the Thrift Library, you can actually access all kinds of articles and journals that the university has paid for you to use for things like this. It's a really, really good way to get some good articles. You can also use another search engine, or another way to search for articles is Google Scholar. I think you can connect to that through the Thrift Library, but check that and see. I don't have it in front of me to look at, but I think you can have access to that through the Thrift Library as well. But either way, when you do go to Google Scholar, there's going to be a box there that you have to check that says peer-reviewed articles. Make sure you're doing that when you go in. And then that will help you to know you're getting peer-reviewed articles. Okay? If you're struggling with that, or if you don't understand, shoot me an email and we'll talk about it. Now, be careful, because there are a lot of articles in Google Scholar that are not peer-reviewed, so make sure you check and specify that you want peer-reviewed articles. And I think you can do that at the Thrift Library as well, if I'm not mistaken. So check that and see. Now, and of course, the best way with both of these, you can do it right here at your computer. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to leave the house. I'm sitting at the kitchen table right now. So you can do the same kind of thing when you start looking for yours. Here's the next piece of the info that you need to know. These peer-reviewed articles need to be at least 5 years old. They can't be older than that, okay? They're even better if they're just a year or two old, but sometimes you're going to find something that's really good that's going to be probably 5 years old. It's 2018. So 2018 minus 5 is 2013. So don't go with anything prior to 2013. And I don't think you're going to have a problem with that. I really don't. And when you go to search, I'm not totally 100% positive with Google Scholar, but I know with the Thrift Library, when you're searching and you're putting in your topic, you can put in there your parameter of years that you want to look at. So make sure you look and see and include the years that you want to search for. I know I'm the one that I used Liberty University for my doctorate, and our search engine, you could put all articles past a certain year. And so it's probably very similar to that with Thrift. I need to look at that. I apologize that I haven't looked at Thrift ahead of time, but I think all of these search engines are pretty much the same. So go ahead and find 3 peer-reviewed articles. You're going to need 3 of them, okay? And when you are picking those articles, I'm just saying this, I'm going to throw this out there. I wouldn't pick 20-page articles. You're not writing a 10 or 15-page paper, okay? Ultimately, you're writing a 2 to 3 page paper, which is a narrative review. And that's simply taking those articles that you are going to read and study, and you're going to explain things from your perspective and just review those articles. It's a narrative review. Narrative means story. So you're telling the story of what you've reviewed in those articles, okay? And how that relates to what we're learning and what we're doing in class. Now, let me look at my little list here and make sure I'm not leaving anything out. I want you to get useful information as you do this. So pick things that you think you can read and study from. If you're picking 20-page articles, again, that's just, that's too much. Now, if you're comfortable doing that, go ahead. You do you. I don't mind that at all. But just know that I'm not going to be looking in your references and saying, oh, that article was only 2 pages long. That's not the purpose of this, okay? Get valid information that will help you to understand the topic that you've chosen, okay? Remember, you're connecting what you've learned to you, okay, to those articles. Make all those connections there, because as a good teacher, someday you're going to be doing that, because you're going to remember what you've learned if you make those connections, okay? I could spend all day long talking about connections, because there's so many ways for students to connect to what they do in the classroom. Now, let me go through my list of things. Okay, your paper's gonna be 2 to 3 pages, double spaced. Don't you dare write 5 pages, and don't you dare write 1 page. Okay, let's stick to the 2 to 3 pages, if you will, please. Follow the directions in the module. Everything's laid out there for you, what to do and what to include. Okay. If you need to remember, everything's APA formatted. I've included the link to Purdue OWL, which is very helpful. I kind of think in there they're going to tell you to do an abstract and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to do that. Just do a basic 2 to 3 page paper, and everything you need is in the directions there in the module in Canvas. Also, Professor Penland from the College of Education included 2 research papers that she had from one of her seated classes. So those are going to be far more than what we're doing, but they will give you an idea of what a really good APA paper looks like, because I think those were perfect papers. The rubric is there as well for you to look at to see what I'm going to be looking at, and I think everything you need is right there. Okay, but remember, I'm an email away. Email me, ask any questions. I think I've done pretty good so far responding to you, and so just let me know. You guys are great. You're gonna do this. It's not gonna be hard. Let me know if something's not clear. Okay? Thanks so much.